This is Hermien again here. And no, we're not doing another class about pen, I promise. But this is where we're going to start. I'm going to go a little bit off script. We have now done how to work with your pencil. We've done how to work with your pen. I got two very interesting notes of feedback the last time. The first one was, okay, Hermien, I am now way more comfortable with taking something like a stick, putting it down here and sketching the stick next to it. That's not working for me. But where do I take it from here? And the question was regarding two things. How do I now put something on the page that's a lot bigger? How do I translate that? And the other question that I had was, how do I decide what to draw? What does one draw? I'm going to try and address both of them just in a quick video, but they're basically, the biggest rule is you draw or paint what marvels you, what amuses you, what you love, which in my case are, trees, rocks, and the likes. It needn't be that for you, but you do what makes you marvel. And later you can go into interpreting that. We will go into interpreting that. And later you can go completely abstract. But at the beginning, it's always best to start your foundation with things you see in front of you so that you can learn to understand line and to understand form. And then one can go into the abstraction of it. So I'm just going to give you an idea, and I'm literally going to walk around my house and I'm going to show you a few ideas, and hopefully that inspires you to do the same at your house and find something that you want to next tackle. Let's say pen, let's say whether pen, whether pencil, whether paint, whether color, which we will tackle a little bit later. So I'm just going to move the camera up just quickly. This is always here because I always have rocks everywhere because I absolutely love rocks. So much that they are bequeathed to somebody in my will. This is a little scene that I could sketch any day, and I could even make it look like big things, but like boulders with skinny trees if you want. It's actually poppy heads, right? Poppy heads are very finicky to draw, by the way. The point is, this is a good place to start and practice your ability to sketch line, your ability to understand the different shapes, how that little negative space in there, your ability to sketch all these things in relation to one another. It's a fantastic thing to sketch, and which works unless it doesn't excite you. But if you're into rocks, you're into these kind of organic forms, it's a fantastic thing. Make yourself an arrangement. I can show you something else that's also here on my table. This is a tree root, and tree roots have been my big inspiration. And you can either try and draw the root, which takes forever, which I have done, and I have made absolutely great drawings from that. But you can also just play with a part of it and see where it takes you, right? And you literally just look at what you want to zoom in on, and you play with that. Look at this, for instance. This is like a miniature Grand Canyon. I mean, you can even see the light colored sand at the bottom. I could sketch that so that this on the left is a cliff face, and that is the other side. And in there is where you go walking in the Grand Canyon. Absolutely any day I can do that. And you can, it's actually, by the way, one of the easiest ways to go into abstraction as well. But there's a little Yoda. You can happily draw. There's a face. See that face? There's the mouth, there's the one eye. It's peering out of the rock. There's a beautiful little face that I would happily attempt. It looks like a wood nymph or something along those lines. This is literally how you can enthuse yourself. You start looking, and as I said, this is an easy way to move into abstraction. Is you take a tree root and you just start playing with the lines of the root. This is an excellent example of how you can test your flex your muscles in terms of lines. First, just doing lines, and then doing shade. Testing all your different pencils, your pens. Or whatever medium you are trying to use. Absolutely amazing. I have used tree roots again and again and again. I've used the same tree roots again and again to give me something new to work with. There's like a wolf dog thing. It's another eye with a face, with like an ear thing. Isn't it amazing? All right. Now we're going to go out to the outside. Hang on to your hats. Alright, let's see whether we can get this thing to focus. There, it's focused. I don't know why it does not want to focus otherwise. But this is just a plant in my backyard. Come, cooperate with me. There's something in the foreground that's grabbing its attention. Alright, let me switch off and try again. Oh, there we go. It's focused. Here's a little scene in my backyard, and now the question is, how do you put this on a page? One of the devices that I need to show you is something I just quickly created just now with chicken wire. And you will see how there's 3 rows in one direction and 4 in another. Well, if you take your page and you put the same number of rows and columns in, you can create a little scene, and it's very easy to translate, and that's a good way to practice. I'm just sitting down so I can rest my elbow, because otherwise I'm going to be shaking quite a bit. And what you do is you register it. So first, this is as quiet as I'm going to hold it. You see how the left hand branch is on the edge of the one block, and then it goes into the others, and now the right hand branch kind of goes on the little corner of the first and second block to the right. See how you register it, and you can register the same spots on your page, and then you can draw. And the fun bit about that is once you've got it registered, you can actually take it away, and then when you need to look at it again, you put it back in exactly the same spot. You draw the next bunch of lines, you take it away, and then you just sketch and you just enjoy it. And very quickly you learn a natural ability to do that without this little thing. But there's nothing wrong with using it, right? And artists use it all the time. But this is how you get a bigger item onto your smaller page, and how you get it in the right form. Let me show you here. Earlier with my by now famous first attempt, I seem to always have to have 2 attempts. I looked at this, and if you look at it through, where was it? If you look at it through the viewfinder, it's almost like there's a little baby path in there that you can create. That kind of thing excites me. You have to find out what excites you. But this is, I love these mysterious worlds that undergrowth brings you. That's my beetroot that I'm going to eat next week. And you can play with this the entire time. And you can, there's a little tree, see the branch? That's my blue beech. There. Now you've got the whole tree in. Or that little tropical elephant ear, see there? Fantastic way to practice your lines. If you say, well, I'm more into architecture. Well, not a problem. This is not very exciting architecture, You can do the same registering there, and it will teach you how to draw perspective beautifully. Beautifully by doing it that way, right? Or if you look at that, it will show you absolutely beautifully how to draw perspective. If you register it like that, and you start drawing it. Now, if it were me, I'd go there. But that's just me. But that's just to show you, this is how you get a bigger image with the correct ratios onto your smaller page. It's a device that has been used by artists through the ages, and it works a charm. Now I'm going to show you another little trick, one of my favorite ones, and I wish I invented it, but I didn't. I can say I used it before I knew somebody else invented it, but that doesn't count. So hang on, heading back inside. So this is a sketch that I made years and years ago of a sleeping little town under a big mountain range. Except I was nowhere near a sleepy little town, and I was nowhere near a mountain range. Haven't got that mountain range with me anymore, but I quickly went and created you a new mountain range that you could sketch. Watch. And there is your new shadow of a big mountain that you can sketch, complete with valleys, ridges, and every bit of imagination. I did that years ago when I would be inside. I couldn't go outside, and I would just play and just sketch these and create my own world. It is the best fun. Let me show you the big master of that. This is a humble and rather sad looking, actually, piece of broccoli. And you'll wonder, am I gonna make food? Well, later maybe. Go and look up on the internet, if you wish, Gainsborough and his broccoli trees. Gainsborough would use broccoli and sticks and whatnot to create his scenes, and he would literally build it with rocks, much like I did earlier on, and the broccoli in between. And he would create the pastoral scenes that he would paint later. It's, in other words, an old invention, and if you look carefully, this is a tree. I mean, this is the trunk. These other branches, this is, and you can trim it so that it works for you. I'm not going to trim it further, it's already very sad. But as I said, do go look up Gainsborough. It's a fantastic device to create your own worlds that you love, and create something that is a kicking off point for you to start with. Alright, let me show you something in my living room. Here, the little pebble on the right is my happy smiling little rock. I love this little rock. It makes me happy every time with its smiling face, its heavenly smile on its profile, and its little hairline with its bald top of its head, and it's lying in its divoted rock pillow here on my table all the time because it makes me happy. And I've put another rock by the side of it that's got a line through it so that the line can continue, just because it makes me smile big time. You should find something that makes you marvel. And when it makes you marvel, you can start drawing. And you don't need to draw it, but you can start with it. And we will get to the point where I show you how to take it further. But find something that makes your heart sing. On the way here, I saw something else. Hang on, I have to show you. So this is the top of an erstwhile piece of garlic that I've always kept because I just like its lines. I mean, and this is how you start with abstract too. I mean, you look at lines that speak to you, but it was when I was looking at it now that I realized it's a heart within a heart, isn't it? A big heart within a smaller heart. And even better, look when I go around and you see the profile face with a little upturned nose starting to appear with a little mouth. Isn't it just amazing with a forehead? It's like a little child or something. But this is the kind of thing that makes me smile, and this is the kind of thing I am for sure going to sketch this now and see where it takes me. Pause the video, sketch your own, show me how it looks when you do it. But isn't this just too divine? You have to find what makes you smile, and then you put it on the page, and then you either sketch it or you take it further. You do something else with it. But start with something that makes you smile. I want to take you back in time a bit, just as a last bit. Hang on again. You know I love trees. This is still sketches from many, many years ago that I sketched in situ. So I was sitting, and you could use a device much like the one I showed you if you're not comfortable doing it just freehand. But if I have drawn dozens of these, I've drawn hundreds, and if I've drawn hundreds, I might have drawn a few thousand, so that I could start understanding how a tree works. And as you see, it's just a quick sketch. It's no masterpiece. It's not going to get into any frame, but the point is, it taught me. It taught me to a point where today I can feel a tree's bark against my own skin. I can understand a hill, right? That's how you learn with whatever it is that makes you happy. I mean, that is such an abstract version of a bush, but that's where I ended up later, where you understand the basic form of something. Extra points to anybody who can tell me what this is. I'll relieve you of your from your mystery. This is a Welwitschia mirabilis, and go and look up Welwitschia mirabilis. It's one of the living fossils in the world, and you find it in my home country. Go and look that up. It's a fantastic, fantastic desert plant. Just absolutely amazing. So do look that up. It's an amazing. But I did how many of these? I can't even tell you. And these pages by now are yellowed, but they're precious to me because they remind me of a time when I was learning and learning and learning until I understood shapes, and I understood lines, and I understood how to draw things, and I could do it freehand because I knew them. What you do is you keep going until your heart sings. That's what you do, and that's all that's needed. So yes, just go for it and find out what makes you happy, what makes you sing, whether it be a face, whether it be a building, and just play. That's the whole idea. Deploy that little device if you're not comfortable. Come back to me, tell me whether this helped a bit, tell me what you want to know next. See you next time. Have a fantastic week or weekend, depending on whether you're watching this. But take good care. Bye-bye.